Yep, that's my baby book. It's seen better days, but let's face it, so have I. At the risk of seeming egotistical, this little film is about me and my family. I was born and raised in Chicago. We lived on the north side in a Swedish neighborhood known as Andersonville. But my dad made sure that I understood that we were Danish, not Swedish. And my mom made sure that I understood I was part Irish. She even taught me the Irish jig when I was little. My folks were very happy when I was born, as it took my mom 9 years to get pregnant after my older brother Neil. It was so cool to have an older brother. Holidays were always celebrated at our place. My mom's sister Betty would come over with her kids, my cousins, and we would have a ball. It was such a great time. It was just me and my brother for a while. My mother still had fertility challenges and decided to adopt my baby sister, Mary Michelle. So my immediate family was my brother, my sister, my father, and fun-loving Irish mother. Chicago is known for bad winters, but in 1979 we had the blizzard that was the blizzard of all blizzards. That was it for me. As hard as it was to leave my family, I decided I had to go. I couldn't stand Chicago's winters. So I went to San Francisco, and I started a new life out there. That was about when the family secret was exposed. I was adopted. I was shocked. This shook me to my core. Everything I thought I wasn't. Who was I? Was I even Irish? Seems silly, but I had been raised Irish. Now what am I? I never did really look like anybody in my family. What was my story? So I went back to my baby book, and sure enough, there were a couple entries missing. I contacted Catholic Charities and discovered that Illinois has closed adoption, and they would just give me some basic information. I did find out that my birth mother was Irish, but it was disturbing to me that she was from the West Coast. I was now on the West Coast. They wouldn't tell me what state. And furthermore, I had a brother from who was out on the West Coast. They didn't know too much about my birth father, except that he was reported as being married, French, English, and Spanish, and went to college. Fast forward 40 years. I decided, let me see if I can find any birth family. I get 23andMe for Christmas, and what I find out is, yes, I am Irish, and I'm more Irish than I thought I was, so I like that idea. And then I also found that I had a lot of relatives in San Francisco, which is what I was afraid of. Did I ever date my brother? Geez. And also relatives on the East Coast. When I didn't find any close relatives, I decided to try Ancestry.com. And through Ancestry, bingo, I found a first cousin, Joe Murphy. That was great. From the DNA and from my profile picture, Joe knew I was his cousin, and he said I looked like his grandmother, our grandmother. And that was thrilling because I've never looked like anybody. And I look at the picture and I do look like the grandmother. And I also look like him. Look at my lips and his lips. We have the same lips. I've never looked like anybody before. This was quite exciting. And I even look like his dad a little bit with his lips. In the meantime, Illinois changed its adoption laws, and I was able to obtain an original birth certificate. It showed that my birth mother named me Catherine, which was her mother's name. It showed that my father's name was Jean Ray, which was really my brother's name. And it showed her real last name of Murphy. So this document really helped to cement my relationship with Joe as first cousin. I was sad to learn that my birth mother, Lorraine, died at the age of 46 from alcoholism. But I was happy to find a picture of my brother. Sad we never met. In fact, our lives interacted very closely. We lived in the same area. I had applied for a job at Atari when he was actually working there as an engineer. But his death was even sadder than my mother's. He was found dead under a bridge at the age of 41 from alcoholism. On a happier note, I did connect with these awesome women from the Murphy side of the family, and we are going to get together as soon as this pandemic is over. They've been so welcoming, so helpful with family information, and they even gave me a picture of the cottage that our grandparents grew up in Western Ireland. I hadn't checked the 23andMe site for a while, so I jumped back on. And Len, a cousin I didn't know I had in New Jersey, was reaching out to me like crazy. Len is a geology expert and was so excited that he actually had found my birth father, William Ninehouse. I was shocked. Len turned me on to my cousin Ruth, who provided a whole bunch of other family connections and photos. And I found that I came from a very close-knit family from Paterson, New Jersey. My father had a wandering spirit like me and left New Jersey in the 50s and moved to California. He and his family didn't know about me, and he was single when he met my mother. I don't think they had a long relationship. I believe I was born out of passion and most likely several cocktails. I do have his shallow forehead, deep-set eyes, and high cheekbones. Bill did not have an alcohol problem like my mother's family did, but he was a heavy smoker and died from lung cancer. Family is more than DNA. I love my adopted family. They are my family. But what a bonus to find warm and loving cousins through my DNA search. This has been an emotional roller coaster ride, but in the end, I got answers to questions I've had for over 40 years.